Vanessa? Sergeant Arms, please call the March 18th, 2025 meeting to order. I would like to recognize our chaplain of the day, Dr. Tanya Lyons of Limit Breaker Church, invited by Councilwoman Pearl Walker. Dr. Lyons, please lead us in prayer.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Canale. Want to thank Councilwoman Pearl Walker for inviting me. May we bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we come before you with gratitude for the gift of community and the opportunity to serve one another. We ask for your guidance and your wisdom for our city council members as they make decisions that will impact our lives and the well-being of our city. Grant them clarity of mind and strength of spirit as they navigate the challenges before them. Help them to listen to the voices of the people. Help them listen to the voices of the people that they represent, fostering unity and understanding among all citizens. May their hearts be filled with compassion, and may they always seek justice and equity for every member of our community. Lord, we pray for the collaboration among the council members, that they may work together harmoniously, setting aside differences for the greater good. Bless their efforts to create a safe, vibrant, and inclusive environment for all who call this city home. Guide them in the pursuit of sustainable solutions that honor our environment and promote the welfare of future generations. May they always act with integrity and transparency, earning the trust and support of those that they serve. Father, we ask that your blessings upon our city, that they may flourish and thrive under their leadership. Help us all to be active participants in our community, supporting our leaders and working together for a brighter future for our city. Father, these and many blessings we ask in thy Son Jesus' name. Hallelujah and amen.
Councilwoman Walker, you're recognized. Hold on. Oh, all right.
Thank you so much for joining us today. From the city of Memphis, Tennessee, by the City Council, greetings. Be it hereby known that Dr. Tanya Lyons, in recognition of a life of exemplary qualities, outstanding service to the city, meritorious involvement in humanitarian affairs, and demonstrated concern for governmental process, has been appointed Chaplain of the Day for the Memphis City Council, and is hereby entitled to all the honors, rights, and privileges and prerogatives appertaining to the office and to the display of this certificate, given under this seal on the 18th day of March, 2025, signed J. Ford Canale, and presented by yours truly, Pearl Eva Walker. And this is a token of our appreciation.
Thank you, Dr. Lyons, for being with us today and praying with us and over us. We appreciate you. Madam Comptroller, would you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Council members Carlisle, present. Cooper Sutton, present. Easter Thomas, present. Ford, Green, present. Logan, present. Smiley, Spinoza, Vice Chair Swearingen Washington,
Present.
Walker, present. Warren, present. White, Present. Chairman Canale. Here. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. I believe Madam Vice Chair has read the minutes from our February 18, 2025 meeting.
Thank you, Chair. I have reviewed the minutes and find them to be in order. I move for the adoption of the February 18, 2025 meeting minutes. I'm not able to do it electronically, but I am making that motion. Okay.
Item was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, colleagues, please cast your votes for the meeting minutes from February 18.
Council members, cast your votes for the minutes. Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton abstained. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Welcome to the March 18, 2025 regular meeting of the Memphis City Council. Meetings of the council shall be conducted in an orderly manner to ensure the public has the full opportunity to be heard, and the deliberate process of the council is retained at all times. The Sergeant-at-Arms has meeting agendas available up front, as well as comment request cards for members of the public wishing to be heard on a specific item. All those wishing to speak on an item must turn in their comment card to the Sergeant-at-Arms before the item is called. If you're not here to speak on a specific item, you can note your request to give general comment at the end of the meeting. As chair, I will only recognize citizens that properly registered to speak by submitting a completed comment request card to the Sergeant-at-Arms. Members of the audience and persons addressing the council will not be permitted to engage in gossip, make defamatory, personal, slanderous, or profane comments, or use abusive or vulgar language. The chairperson of the council may maintain order by giving any persons who are in violation of the stated rules of decorum a warning to cease any violative conduct in order to leave the council's chambers, or by giving an order for security personnel to remove any disruptive person in the council's chambers who refuses to leave voluntarily. These rules are posted on the doors as you enter the chamber and as you pick up comment cards. So all that being said, to say this is your warning. If you disrupt this meeting, I will have the Sergeant-at-Arms remove you. Let's have a good meeting. Please. Colleagues, I know that last week we all received some horrible news. I believe all 13 of us knew Pastor Ricky Floyd. Many of us called him friend. I deal with death every day of my life, but some deaths are just harder to accept and harder to swallow when someone is so tragically and senselessly ripped from your life. So let me say these words on behalf of this body to the Floyd family and his church family and all of his friends. It's with profound sorrow that we mourn the tragic loss of Pastor Ricky Floyd, who was senselessly taken from us on March 12, 2025 in Memphis, Tennessee. Pastor Floyd was more than a spiritual leader. He was a pillar of strength, a relentless advocate for change, and a guiding force for hope and transformation in our city. Pastor Floyd was not only a beloved spiritual leader, but also a trusted community advocate and dedicated member of the Memphis Police Advisory Committee. His tireless efforts to bridge the gap between law enforcement and the community exemplified his deep commitment to justice, peace, and unity. As the founder and senior pastor of Pursuit of God Transformation Center, Pastor Floyd's leadership extended beyond advocacy. He was a beacon of hope, faith, and empowerment for countless individuals, dedicating his life to uplifting individuals, restoring families, and strengthening communities. His mentorship and ministry uplifted families, strengthened communities, and provided unwavering support to those in need. The Memphis City Council extends our deepest condolences to Pastor Floyd's wife, Pastor Sheila Floyd, his family, friends, congregation, and all those whose lives he touched. We will certainly honor his legacy by continuing the work he so passionately championed. Memphis has lost a true servant leader, but his impact will endure for generations. We also ask that you respect the privacy of the Floyd family, and allow them time to grieve. I know that his service information has been distributed, and I think we can, maybe all of us could share it through our social media so that people can attend if they so choose. Please join our greater Memphis community in prayer, and we say God bless the Floyd family and God bless our great city. Colleagues, if anyone wants to speak, I would certainly offer that to you at this time. I know that many of you were close to him, and one thing that I can say about Ambassador Floyd is from the moment I was seated on this body, he always told me what I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear. He told me when I was right, and he certainly told me when I was wrong. And I will cherish the moments that I spent with him. I told Councilwoman Logan earlier, it's so hard to believe that yesterday on my way home from work, I was listening to former voicemails from him, hoping and wishing that I could hit that replay button and call him back and he'd pick up on the other line. So anybody that wants to speak, Councilwoman Logan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you for the opportunity. I just wanted to say publicly how much he meant to me and I know all of us. One thing I did want to say, like you said, he would tell you about yourself, but good, bad, or indifferent, one thing we all can say is that he fought for Frazier. He fought for his community. He was called for that, and I feel he answered the call. I feel he laid a foundation that we must continue on in the community. We must make certain that Frazier stays whole. He wasn't the only person doing the work, but he was doing a holistic work in the community and is going to be missed. Let's keep his family lifted up and keep them encouraged and surrounded, as well as his church family, and continue the work. So regardless of what you may think, you can't take that away from him. He honored the call by doing the work, and I really appreciate the mark he left in that area and the foundation that he gave us to build on. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Councilwoman Logan. Dr. Isha Thomas.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you just for also honoring his life as we're here in front of the public. And Councilwoman Logan, same sentiments, right? That's family, especially when you're talking about Frazier and just his reach all over the city. Pastor Floyd was everywhere. Most recently, I don't know if he's in here, Bob Nardo, I don't know if he's still here, at Libertas School, they had a framed picture of Pastor Floyd's most recent magazine cover that's talking about Black Wall Street. And so just thinking about those ideals that he was pushing, not just pushing, but also living through action and funding, those are the things that, as Councilwoman Logan said, we can still work and strive to continue the things that we were doing and working together. And just a testament, just thinking about, I'm so glad, Councilwoman, that we were able to give him his flowers while he was still here. The past body had passed to be able to rename that part of Stretch in honor of Apostle Floyd, and I'm just so glad that we think it not robbery to tell folks that we love them, you're doing a great job, we honor you, you're a great model, while they can receive that. So thank you, Councilwoman, for leading that spearhead, and also thank you, Chairman, just for letting us share our thoughts.
Thank you. Councilwoman White, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. And again, thank you for this opportunity. I always admire those that do the work. We always have and hear people with a lot of ideas, a lot of visions, and before you knew it, Pastor Floyd would have something already up and working. One of his projects that I love was the boutique that he opened across the street from the church. And so it's like I would love going through my closet and taking my things up there to that boutique, because it was just such a joy to just go in there and just see all of the nice things, and you wouldn't expect it, just right there in the middle of nowhere. in Fraser, and that's just one of his many projects. And so, you know, it really is a loss, but I hope that it's also a push for all of us to just not be visionaries, but to also put action to those visions, and let's start seeing, you know, how much we can change our community.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Colleagues, before we begin with item number 1, I do want to recognize Troop 13 from Trinity UMC in Midtown. They are working on their citizenship in the community badge, which is required, so they have to attend either a city council meeting, a school board meeting, or a county commission meeting. And they're on their way to becoming Eagle Scouts. Indigo Swan, Patrick Lynch, William Lynch, and Greg Gillis. Would you stand for us for just a second? Let us recognize you. Thank you for joining us here today. Dr. Warren, you're recognized.
I just want to say a very strong history in my family. I have 2 Eagle Scouts and 1 who missed it because of a girlfriend. Troop 13. Thank you, guys. Good job.
Madam Comptroller, would you please call item 1?
Item number 1 is a resolution honoring Miss Vanessa Ford Sane of the Orange Mound Energizers for her dedication to uplifting the Orange Mound community through dance. This resolution is sponsored by Councilwoman Swearingen Washington.
Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. It is my pleasure to be able to recognize Mrs. Vanessa Sane. She has done a tremendous work in the community. She is a previous City of Memphis employee, and she is continuing the work. So it is my pleasure to be able to acknowledge her at this time. Whereas the Memphis City Council pauses to recognize and honor the extraordinary contributions of Vanessa Sane, a dedicated public servant, mentor, and community advocate whose commitment to enriching the lives of older adults has left an undeniable mark in the city of Memphis. Whereas Vanessa Sane, a proud native of Memphis, pursued higher education at Lemoyne-Owen College and Memphis State University, preparing for her career of dedicated service to public service and community enrichment. She began her distinguished career with the Division of Park Services in 1978, dedicating 42 years of service. Yes. Where it was spent improving the lives and the adults at the Orange Mound Community Center. She retired in 2020 as the Assistant Director of the Orange Mound Community Service Center. Yet, her impactful programs and initiatives continue to benefit the community to this day. She founded the famous Orange Mound Travel Club, which she continues to provide travel opportunities for older adults, including a historic trip in 2017, and allowed 265 seniors to visit the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. Whereas Vanessa Sane, that's right, we can applaud that effort. That is phenomenal. Whereas Vanessa Sane also created and led the renowned Orange Mound Energizers, a line dance group composed of older adults ranging in the age from 55 to 85, bringing joy, physical activity, and a sense of community to many. Vanessa Sane continues to volunteer at the Orange Mound Community Service Center, ensuring that the sustained success of the Orange Mound Energizers, who have gained recognition in magazines, radio, television, and have performed at venues such as the Orpheum and the Overton Park Shell, whereas Vanessa Sane has consistently demonstrated her passion for community outreach, leading initiatives such as visiting nursing homes, volunteering health fairs, and supporting various city projects that promote wellness and engagement among older adults. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Memphis City Council does hereby honor and commend Vanessa Sane for her tireless dedication to the Memphis community, her remarkable contributions to the well-being of older adults, and her lasting legacy of service, compassion, and leadership, given by my hand under the great seal of the city of Memphis, this 18th day of March, 2025, Jana Swearingen Washington, Vice Chairwoman, Memphis City Council. We are so appreciative of the work that you continue to do. God bless you.
God bless you, and thank you so much.
Come on, say something to us.
It's just truly a blessing to be a volunteer to put into seniors and the Memphis area. It's been a love of my life. You all be blessed, and thank you so much.
Madam Comptroller, please show that approved by acclamation. And please call item 2.
Item number two is a resolution recognizing the women serving in local elected office on the Memphis City Council, Shelby County Board of Commissioners, and Memphis Shelby County School Board in celebration of Women's History Month. This resolution is sponsored by Councilman Smiley.
I guess Canali doesn't want to recognize me. My feelings are hurt.
Councilman Smiley, you're recognized.
All right, thank you, Chair, thank you, Council. I wish I could take, the sole credit for the resolution under the Memphis City Council. Councilman Canali advised me that all the men of the Memphis City Council sponsored the resolution honoring our historic Sabbath. Before I get into the individual resolutions for the Memphis City Council and the County Commission and the School Board, I do want to hold space for the fact that serving in leadership is tough, and sometimes we don't get it right. But what we should be working on is to put people in a better position. Sometimes we have to set aside our differences, like Dr. Lyons said, to figure out how we can provide for the general welfare of his people. That requires us to take time to listen, acknowledge sometimes we don't have the answers, but understand that our goal is the same. How do we move our community forward? How do we value each and every opinion and try to figure out how to work those opinions into solutions? Sometimes we have heated discussions. Sometimes we say things that we may regret from time to time. But I just want to make sure we don't lose sight that this is our community. And I believe that each and every person here today, the City Council, the County Commission, and the members of the school board truly want what's best for our community. So I do want to say that. But before I get in, I do want to allow Mary Young to come up and say some words as well. Mary Young.
Thank you, Councilman Smiley. And I just wanted to be here for this moment to acknowledge the amazing women that are working in leadership positions in our city. Obviously, the City Council, I get to work with you all daily. The women of the County Commission and the School Board. Certainly, I work with all of you in different capacities. And as Councilman Smiley said, this is hard work that we're all doing. And it's tedious work. It's emotionally draining work, but it's for a purpose. And I know the heart of each and every one of you, and I know that you all have a heart for service, and I see it behind the scenes daily. And so I just want to say thank you and acknowledge this moment as we celebrate Women's History Month. I want you all to know that it might not feel like it, but every single day we are shaping the history of Memphis together. Every single day, we are writing the pages of history. And so I want to thank you for your service because it's happening because of each and every one of you. Thank you.
Okay, so, if you don't mind, I decided to get each person a personal token from me. Hurt my pockets a little bit, so if you break it, my feelings are gonna be hurt. Take good care of it. But I'm gonna read the one for the Memphis City Council first. Whereas Women's History Month is a time to recognize and celebrate the achievements and contributions of women throughout history, both past and present. Whereas the women elected to serve on the Memphis City Council exemplify dedication, leadership, and service to their community, helping to shape the future of Memphis. And whereas despite the challenges the elected office can hold, these 7 women serve the community each and every day. Whereas Councilwomen Rhonda Logan, Jerry Green, Pearl Ava Walker, Jenna Swearingen Washington, Dr. Michael Easter Thomas, Janika White, and Yolanda Cooper Sutton serve their districts and the city of Memphis on the Memphis City Council with genuine care, passion, and advocacy for the constituents that they represent. Whereas they are part of the historic 7 Women Majority Council that was sworn in on January 1st, 2024. I'm gonna skip to the bottom. Now therefore be it resolved that in celebration of Women's History Month, we hereby recognize the following women serving on the Memphis City Council. Rhonda Logan, District 1. Jerry Green, District 2. Pearl Ava Walker, District 3. Jenna Swearingen Washington, District 4. Dr. Michael Easter Thomas, District 7. Janika White, Super District 8, Position 2. Councilwoman Yolanda Cooper Sutton, Super District 8, Position 3. For their outstanding leadership, service, and dedication to the citizens of Memphis, given by each and every male member of the Memphis City Council. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Y'all supposed to show them some love. This is tough work. It's hard. It's hard. Where's your list? So inside of your bag, there is a jewelry box with your initials on it.
You didn't pick it.
I know, Lee. I try to go to work every time. Of course, All right, County Commission, can you join me here real quick? So, we don't get to work so often with the County Commission, but what this body has tried to do more consistently is do stuff in partnership, passing joint ordinances, because so goes Memphis, so goes Shelby County. And I think we have to be intentional about building relationships across the street so that we can truly put our community in the best position possible. So I know that some of the members of the County Commission aren't here, but I'm gonna say their name because it's important to know who's serving us and who's doing the real work. Amber Mills, District 1. Brandon Morrison, District 4. Shante Avant, District 5. Henry Brooks, District 7. Brittany Thornton, District 10. Miska Clay Bibbs, District 11. And Erica Sugarman, District 12. Let's show them women some love. One more. Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. We got one more. I try to, be mindful of the language that I use because when I was in law school, my professor said words matter. I had an opportunity to visit Greater Metropolitan Church in South Memphis, and the pastor, Pastor Taylor, he was standing in the pulpit, and what he said was, "You don't know how hard it is. You don't know how many roads I have to travel until you had an opportunity to wear my shoes." And we know that, our school board has been in the news quite frequently regarding different issues, but what I do want to acknowledge is their job isn't easy. I wouldn't want to make those decisions that they have to make. I wouldn't want to be in their position throwing stones, not understanding the nuances that their body has to deal with. I may not agree with every decision. to be honest, I don't agree with some of the decisions I made in the past, but what I do know is this work is not work about self. It's about how we can serve people, how we can put children in the best position. So I do want to acknowledge them as well. I know a couple of members of the school board are here, and we have some advocates on their body. So we should show them love and appreciation and find ways to have respectful discourse in this community. Let me get to their resolution. I don't have, there we go. District 1, come on, school board members. I know you're here. District 1, Michelle Robinson McKissick. District 2, Natalie, I know her husband here, her mom here too. I know you ain't say that's your wife or nothing. Oh, her mom here, okay. District 2, Natalie McKinney. District 3, Stephanie Love. District 5, Sable Ote. District 7, Tawana Murphy. District 8, that's the best district, Amber Hewitt Garcia. And District 9, Joyce Doris Coleman. Let's show them some love. Tough, man. Tough work.
Madam Comptroller, will you please show all three of those approved by acclamation? Thank you, Councilman Smiley. Madam Comptroller, would you please call item 3?
Item number 3 is a resolution recognizing an honorary street name change at Beacon Hill Drive between Smith Ridge Road and Mirror Avenue for Mario Bradley, District 7, Super District 8. This resolution is sponsored by Councilwoman Easter Thomas.
Councilwoman Dr. Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Good afternoon, colleagues in City of Memphis. We are very excited. I just talked about earlier about the importance of giving flowers while people are still able to receive and smell them theoretically. So I'm super excited to be able to do this. Mario, can you come up here and join me with your family too? So if you all don't know, District 7, one of District 7's finest, Frazier's finest, we have Mr. Mario Bradley here, and I'm so excited to be able to present this honorary street renaming for him, and I will read this into the record and then let him share a few words. Okay? Whereas on occasion, the Memphis City Council seeks to recognize outstanding individuals who have made significant contributions to the community through their work, philanthropy, and commitment to improving the lives of Memphis residents. In doing so, the council honors such individuals by naming streets in their recognition. Mario Grove Hero Bradley is one such individual more than worthy of recognition. Mario Bradley, widely known as Grove Hero, is a comedian, entrepreneur, and philanthropist from Memphis, Tennessee, who has gained widespread recognition not only for his comedic talent, but also for his deep commitment to community development and charitable giving. He has dedicated himself to revitalizing his hometown, particularly the Frazier neighborhood, by purchasing and restoring properties to transform abandoned homes. That deserves a clap. Okay. Restoring these properties into valuable assets for the community, demonstrating his unwavering commitment to neighborhood improvement. In recognition of his contributions to the city of Memphis, he was already honored with the key to Shelby County in 2021 for his dedication to community service, particularly his efforts to improve local housing, support neighborhood revitalization, and provide opportunities for those in need. Well known for his generosity, having given away high-value items such as a Lamborghini, several other cars, right? As well as providing rent-free, oh, your eyes perked up, Canal, no more Lamborghinis left, okay? As well as providing rent-free housing to individuals facing hardship, offering them the opportunity to regain stability and security. Mario's philanthropic spirit extends beyond housing initiatives, as he has recently developed a vibrant state-of-the-art playground designed to foster creativity, physical activity, and social interaction among children, colorful play structures, swings, slides, and sensory areas. Mario has further demonstrated his commitment to fostering community engagement by spearheading the creation of a brand new basketball court in his neighborhood, providing a safe space for youth and adults to enjoy friendly competition, teamwork, and physical fitness. Through his humor, y'all, if y'all not following him, okay? Through his humor, acts of kindness, and dedication to improving the lives of those around him, Mario Bradley has made a lasting impact on the Memphis and Fraser community, inspiring others to use their success to uplift and empower those in need. The Memphis City Council seeks to honor Mario Bradley's dedication and positive influence by designating a portion of Beacon Hill Drive in his name, ensuring that his legacy of generosity and community investment is forever remembered. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Memphis City Council hereby renames Beacon Hill Drive between Smith Ridge Road and Mirror Avenue in Fraser as Mario Grove Hero Bradley Way, in honor of Mario Bradley's outstanding contributions to the city of Memphis and his unwavering commitment to uplifting the community. Can y'all join me?
I've never heard his real name in my life.
Ooh, man, this is amazing. I couldn't see myself being from that neighborhood and standing right here and receiving an award. It feels crazy being that Ridge Grove is so much of a poverty-stricken area, and it's just crazy. I just want to thank all y'all for just noticing me and understanding and saying yes to this, and it just feels good. I just thank y'all. Greatest woman in the world. Thank you for everything. JB, the mayor, just everybody. I just thank y'all. I appreciate y'all.
I did not know your first real name.
You
it's
did?
Always Grove Hero.
Well, that's good. You don't need to know it.
Congratulations. Well deserved.
But thank y'all so much. Can y'all give me another hand?
Madam Comptroller, please show that approved by acclamation. Madam Comptroller, please take us to item 15.
Item number 15 is, let's get it on the board. Item number 15, he's doing it for a reason, is a resolution requesting the approval for the sale in the amount of $820,000, a portion of a city-owned parcel located at 2685 Plant Road and further described as parcel ID number 05010100054, Memphis, Shelby County, Tennessee, District 6, Super District 8. This resolution is sponsored by the administration, and there is a request for same night minutes.
Councilman Smiley, you recognized.
Committeeman recommend approval, and I so move.
Item was moved by Smiley, seconded by Vice Chair JSW. I do have some comment cards. Any members want to get in the queue before I go to public comment? Okay. Sarah Houston. Hold on one second, Ms. Houston. Councilwoman Cooper Sutton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to just speak briefly on item 15 and to recognize that the Boxtown community is here. Thank you all for coming out, your support, and everyone that's here in support of item number 15 that's about to be discussed. We know that this property is being sold to, I think it's CCT. I don't want to call out anyone's name and get muted again. But however, I think it's CCT, the organization that has purchased this land and has raised a lot of concerns in regards to that. So I want to recognize the community being here, your support. As one of your district representative, I support what you support. I understand what you're going through, and hopefully my colleagues would take in great consideration. I know they don't live in the community, they're not in the neighborhood, but would really think long and hard before they cast their votes after we finish listening to your comments, would take in great consideration to maybe pause until your questions and your concerns have been answered and dealt with appropriately as citizens here in Memphis. I yield back time.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Ms. Houston. Name and address for the record. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Sarah Houston, 200 Wagner Place. Thank you for those comments, Councilwoman. Protect Our Aquifer is the organization that I represent. And we have wanted a water recycling facility from day one. Literally, we were founded to sue TVA to get them off the aquifer. They're using 7 million gallons of water a day, and they're competing with Boxtown, Westwood, Mallory Heights during extreme weather events. They need a lot of water to power their electricity. Now, without a water recycling plant, we're gonna just stay status quo. XAI, TVA, they're pumping millions of gallons of water. We're concerned they're drawing down arsenic, TCE, other legacy pollution. So this could be a solution for the data center that's already up and running in 38109. But we absolutely understand the community resistance to doing any business with XAI and Elon Musk. We acknowledge that. So we also want to put out there, we should be thinking long-term. They've just bought a new facility in Whitehaven. The chamber announced in December, 1 million GPU. They're at 300,000 in the current facility. They're at 350,000 in this new facility they want to buy. That leaves us 350,000 GPU still. So are they going to buy another facility? Are they going to keep trying to bring data centers here? We don't know that answer. We don't know where their water source will be for this new Whitehaven facility. They could drill a well. They could buy more aquifer water from MLGW. We've seen other places like Virginia that pass laws to try and have better local say over data centers. TVA is considering a whole new electric rate class because these are so expensive to power. So communities across the country are grappling with this data center boom. This is the reality of what's happening right now. So regardless of how this council votes, Protect Our Aquifer will remain committed to our mission as a watchdog, remain committed to our mission to ensure we have clean drinking water. But we really want to urge everyone to think forward about what's to come. How do we have more local say in data centers in our community? How do we ask for a moratorium, get a pause, and figure this out together? We want is transparency. We want approval for data processes that will data centers that will come before this body. And so that's what I have to say. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Houston. All right, just from here forward, no clapping. If you like it, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. Amber Sherman. Name and address for the record. You have 2 minutes, Ms. Sherman.
Okay. My name is Amber Sherman. My address is 6070 North Belgrove Cove. I'm here today to ask this body to vote no on this item until the designs are reviewed by the Land Use Control Board and City Council to build in a layer of guardrails because community voice has been ignored and disregarded throughout this entire process. And I think we should be valuing and hearing what the community wants over Ted Townsend, the Chamber of Commerce, and the billionaires who think they can buy up all our land and pollute it because poor Black communities live there. We want the water reuse facility, but we also want a process to be followed so the community has a voice. This entire process has used loopholes to avoid a public process that includes communities, and it's not okay. And if we allow this one sale, it sets a precedent that we're okay with them not having our voices heard and furthers the practice that Ted Townsend and XAI are already pushing of buying up properties in poor Black communities with no notice just to build projects that pollute our air with methane gas turbines that are operating 24/7 that cause extreme health risk through long-term exposure like memory loss, fatigue, vision loss, convulsions, and even more horrible complications like death. Is that what y'all want for our communities? I think you need to listen to what we're saying and follow a more community-involved process, or else you're gonna lose our trust as you already are, because this entire backdoor process is really looking shady and it's not okay.
Thank you, Ms. Sherman. Larice Smith.
Good afternoon. My name is Larice Smith, a practicing attorney in Memphis for over 40 years. I am here to speak as a private citizen against the council's resolution to approve the sale of the property for $820,000. Given the time that I have to speak, I want to stress to the council members that I believe that more due diligence is needed before finalizing the current and future transactions with Elon Musk and his XAI company. I believe more transparency and research are needed, such as requesting an environmental impact study, more community input and involvement from the neighborhoods that will be directly affected, the long-term environmental effects on quality of air, water, soil. I think a cost and benefit analysis should be required. I think we need more input from experts, and we need to know what the harmful long-term consequences are going to be. I also believe that the council members should fully investigate the business practices and the business relationships that Mr. Musk and his companies have with other municipalities and the federal government. Find out whether he's being investigated and sued and for what reasons. A case in point is what has happened and is happening in Brownville, Texas. Many of you may not be aware of the pollution that is occurring regarding the water, the mercury levels, dealing with a spaceship, or I think the company is called SpaceX. Additionally, I encourage council members to analyze what is happening in real time.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. That's all right. I appreciate your comments. Thank you very much. Kelsey Hughes.
Hi, Council. My name is Kelsey Hughes. I am a resident of District 5 and Super District 9. I was previously a software engineer. I quit because I did not want to build AI features that replaced people's jobs. I'm now pursuing a Master's of City Planning degree at the U of M. I have 3 examples of XAI's promises to Memphis that sound great on paper, but they're highly concerning when you take a deeper look at their ultimate goal, which is winning the AI race. Example number 1, they'll say they will build Memphis a wastewater plant that they've been wanting for years, and it will benefit not just them, but all these other industrial companies in the area, reducing strain on the aquifer. What they're not saying is they're going to build the world's biggest supercomputer. Once they have scaled up, the water needs will be so enormous that the wastewater facility, even with the wastewater facility, they'll pull more water from the aquifer than they do now. Number 2, they're going to bring 200 plus high quality jobs to Memphis. What they're not saying is the entire point of their company is to build AI to eliminate jobs. Number 3, they're happy to invest in Memphis and pay taxes to us without any tax breaks. What they don't say is they don't mind paying fees for breaking environmental laws because they need to move fast. And they'll never pay for the healthcare needed for nearby residents who will breathe in air pollutants from their gas turbines for years to come. So you see, they sell us on something that would sound crazy to refuse: a much-needed wastewater facility, desperately needed jobs, and desperately needed tax revenue. But as Councilwoman Cooper Sutton has said, they don't do good business. So I support a wastewater facility, but I urge you to beware. Their ultimate goal is to replace decent-paying jobs in Memphis and everywhere with the AI they're building in our own backyard.
Thank you, Ms. Hughes. Haley Thomas. Name and address. You have 2 minutes, Ms. Thomas.
Hello, my name is Haley Marie Thomas, and I am here on behalf of the citizens that feel betrayed by their government. This XAI predicament proves that our elected officials don't have the best interests of their constituents at heart. We as citizens deserve transparency in this process. I wonder how transparent can one be knowing that MLGW, Chamber of Commerce, and others have signed NDAs. There has been so much community pushback, yet the business dealings have been moving at a rapid pace, disregarding the health concerns of Boxtown, South Memphis, Memphis as a whole, and the surrounding areas. Multiple non-media outlets have covered the story, including an article written yesterday by Forbes, which read, Elon Musk installs dirty and quick turbines to power Exxon's Memphis data center. The article states that these types of turbines are usually used during emergencies. So what is Memphis gaining? Are we just gaining pollution? Elon Musk and his businesses have a reputation of exploiting marginalized communities with little to no economic gain. Last year, it was reported that Tesla avoided paying federal taxes despite making $2.3 billion. Already, he is proven not to be trustworthy and being a burden on the community by being extremely late on his utility bills. How can a company that is intentionally not paying their bills be making a positive impact on our city? I want the audience to know that XAI received 3 cutoff notices. Most Memphians will not receive such grace. I wrap up by saying, make decisions that will positively affect our city. I've been in Memphis my whole life, and I want the best for Memphis.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Appreciate your comments. Kimberly Davis.
Good afternoon. Hello to all of our council people. I am grateful to stand before you today, and I am here with the communities of Southwest Memphis asking that you deny the sale of this property.
I'm sorry, I'm
sorry, my address.
Name and address, please.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
My name is Kimberly Davis, and my address is 1753 Berwind Road, 38116. I am here with the citizens of Southwest Memphis to ask that you deny the sale of this property until further review can be given. We need to know exactly how this property will be used, and we want Land Use Control Board and City Council to have time to do their due diligence. Today, the mayor talked about how we are writing the pages of our history daily, and this is a part of our history. We want to change the narrative because for so long, Memphis has been known to jump into bad deals that don't work out for us in the long run. And it's time for us to make the right decisions for the people. And also, as Councilman Smiley mentioned, this is our community. And we have a say-so of what we want in our community. These are my lungs, this is my body. We have worked, our blood, sweat, and tears have gone into this community to sustain it. And we have a right more so than a billionaire to come in and say what should be done in our community. So we ask that you hear us and do your part to protect the citizens of Southwest Memphis. They are facing high cancer rates. In some parts, it's 14 times higher than the national average. On average, 4 times higher than the national average. And asthma rates, we are rated 8th in the nation. This shouldn't be. As a city, we have so much to offer. We are strategically located, and industries are looking to come here because by water, by air, by land, they can transfer and transport goods. Also, we have natural resources to offer. We are not in a desperate position, and we should no longer act.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Appreciate your comments. Christine Fox. Name and address. You have 2 minutes, Ms. Fox.
Christine Fox, North McNeil Drive, 38112. Good evening. I'm here today both in my capacity as a community organizer for Memphis Community Against Pollution and as a citizen of this beautiful city. I would like to join my voice with the other community members who are here to share their concerns and frustrations with you at, sorry, I lost my place. My concern and frustration with the alarming speed at which the sale of this property at 2685 Plant Road is taking place. We implore the body to deny the sale until such time that the designs can be reviewed by yourselves and the Land Use Control Board. There is absolutely no need to rush this matter when we have not, until today, had the opportunity to hear from any of the community members who are most affected by the environmental and health impacts. Please, let's put the brakes on this irresponsible resolution and perform some due diligence regarding the sale of this property to XAI and Elon Musk. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fox. Keyshawn Pearson. Name and address. You have 2 minutes, Mr. Pearson.
Make sure we got this right. All right, Keyshawn Pearson, 3831 Masterson, 38109. I want to start this by saying Happy Women's Month. Black women have been the crusaders. They have been the voice. They have been the shoulders of the movements that have freed us, the shoulders of the movements that have created environmental, social, and health justice for us all. And so thank you, Black women. I want my Boxtown family to stand up for me and all of our environmental justice supporters, because what I want to recognize here is that this affects people. The people have been excluded. Something that J.B. Smiley said before is that we're all here to move the community forward. And in order to move the community forward, we have to include the community. These people have to be included in the decisions that are being made. June 5th, we got a notice that XAI started their operation. September 2nd, Elon Musk tweeted that he had started the operation up at 50 megawatts of power. In October, 522 acres was sold to XAI to continue their expansion. At no point has this community been engaged or involved. What we are asking for, what we are pleading for in this exact moment is that you use this body, this force of power that you have in order to put a pause on what continues to be a steamrolling project of a billionaire who concedes nothing. This is our moment to be the city of Memphis for Memphians. We are asking you to hold on this resolution until we build the necessary guardrails to protect people. Thank you.
No clapping. Thank you, Mr. Pearson. Mr. Richard Massey.
Good evening, Council. Richard Massey,
3615 Central Avenue, 38111. A few weeks ago, myself and other advocates sounded the alarm about the reality of a rogue billionaire polluting black neighborhoods in Memphis. We sounded the alarm about Elon doing what he's infamous for doing, and that's using his wealth to ignore regulations and to exploit ordinary people. From that day, from just a few weeks ago until now, Elon and XAI have now bought up 1 million square feet of real estate to build another data center in Memphis. And not just anywhere in Memphis, no, but in Whitehaven, another black community placed on a chopping block to bolster the profit margins of a company. Of all 66 polluting facilities in Memphis, half of them are already located in South Memphis. Half. So that means that there's already an environmental justice crisis that has unfolded in our city. The American Lung Association has given the entire area a failing grade due to heavy pollution. So I asked the question, why are we letting a white nationalist billionaire come into South Memphis and pollute our communities completely unchecked? Since XAI came here in June of last year, they haven't held a single town hall with residents of Boxtown or Whitehaven. The wastewater facility in itself might not be able to sustain 2 data centers simultaneously, which raises concerns about extraction from the aquifer. And as Elon leaves a trail of environmental violations behind him, from SpaceX polluting bodies of water in Texas, to the Boring Company illegally discharging stormwater, to Tesla being cited over 110 different times for air quality violations, we can't trust this man to not neglect the health of our neighbors. This is a man that isn't governed by rules or regulations or human decency, but rather an insatiable appetite for power and profit. And he has handicapped the federal government, as we've seen, by firing tens of thousands of workers across the country, including here in Memphis. So don't think for 1 second that he won't try to make an example out of our local government. We must not let our city become an example of fecklessness and weakness, but rather a model of strength and courage in the face of exorbitant power and wealth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Massey. Colleagues, that brings us to the end of public comment. Seeing no members in the queue. You turned it in after the item had been called.
Excuse me?
You turned it in after the item had been called.
No, I turned it in right when the item had been called.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, because I saw commissioners.
Sergeant Arms.
Excuse me? Sergeant Arms, what? You're not going to let me speak?
No, you turned it in because it's against the rules.
No, it's not.
I read the rules at the beginning.
You don't want to hear the public because you got paid just like Doug McGowan. You ain't got to come get me. I know when to leave. Just don't put your hands on me. Don't touch me. I'm ready.
Councilwoman Walker, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to make a few comments. So, starting with, I am part of the environmental justice community, although I didn't stand. I am part of that community. I've been an active part of that community for almost 10 years now. I am the co-chair of the Environmental and Climate Justice Committee for the Memphis chapter of the NAACP and civic engagement consultant for SACE, the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, Knoxville, Tennessee. We need the water waste facility. I support the water waste facility. But to my colleagues, y'all, we are in a situation here. People need information, and we need to know that this is safe. What have we received to assure us that this is safe? What do we have in place for accountability and integrity? The new facility, proposed facility in Whitehaven, and I know this item is not about that, but I just wanted to let you all know that it is approximately 2.6 miles from my home. This is science, this is engineering, this is math, and it goes over most people's heads, and maybe some of us up here, because I don't know all about this. But at some point, we have got to acknowledge that there is mounting concern around the existing and proposed facilities. People want answers. People need answers. There will be, and Keyshawn, I wish you could have mentioned the forum that you and Mayor Young will be participating in this Saturday. What's that, Riverside Church? What time is that? At 2 o'clock, and the address? Riverside Church on 3rd, just south of Mitchell Road, and I invite everyone to come out. And I think that will be a great opportunity to come and hear from the mayor and others as we try to sort through this with respect to what's what and what is safe. Are we safe? Are we going to be safe? And there is nothing wrong with wanting to know if we're going to be safe. So what is the compromise? What is the intersectionality of this body moving forward with this project and responding to the needs and the questions and the concerns of the people? I want us to be safe. I want the economic development. I want the workforce development. I want the philanthropy. But the people need the information. People still don't know, when you say jobs and workforce development, what does that mean in terms of numbers? As far as the philanthropy goes, there is philanthropy, but the citizens don't know about it. I know I have been part of efforts to educate and inform the community, as well as many of my colleagues. But this is a particular burden for those of us whose districts and constituents are in a certain part of the city. But in closing, I just want to say I do support the sale and the wastewater facility, but we have to do better by responding to the concerns and the questions and the safety of this city. Thank you. I yield the floor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman White, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman, and I'm going to try to sum this up. And for anyone who, and I wasn't going to make any comment today because I thought that I really laid out my logic and my thought process and why I was voting the way that I am at our committee meeting. So I didn't want to completely repeat myself, but it seems as if we do have a different crowd here, and it seems that some of the issues that we see just seem to be rooted in a lot of misinformation. And when I listened to some of those comments, I wrote a few things down, and I just want to make sure that my constituents understand why my vote is what it is. And if you want my more detailed analysis, go back and watch the last one, but this is the brief of it, is that this that we're voting on today is not a project per se. It's not XAI. It is the sale of a particular parcel. The only reason that we are involved in this deal at all is because it's actually a piece of property that's owned by the city of Memphis. What I found out is that it's a part of acreage that the city of Memphis purchased some time ago that the city of Memphis did not, or we do not currently have any plans for. As it pertains to the gray water facility that is a part of it, we did an appraisal on the property. I compared what it is that we paid for the property. In addition to that, I learned in this process that right now, any facility or place can go and get a permit for a well. And so underneath this facility that's already there, they can dig a well and tap directly into the aquifer. They don't necessarily have to go through MLGW. They don't have to go through us. It's a permitting process. And so being that this supercomputer is here, when we talk about safeguards, this gray water plant is just that. It's a safeguard. It's recycling water that would otherwise come from our aquifer. It's recycling our wastewater and using it to cool the computers instead of us using water from our aquifer. And so when you look at safeguards, it's what we did at that last committee meeting. We added in a clawback clause into that contract, meaning that if anything happens with this facility, it reverts back to the city of Memphis. That's one of the things we did to protect. In terms of the concerns of environmental concerns, in terms of concerns about everything to do with the community, I agree. And when we say, what do? We're doing it right now. I know I am. I've spoken to several of my colleagues. I've spoken to actually several of you to say, let's get together and figure out what we can do as policymakers to make sure that we do put in safeguards for this new up and coming technology, that we do put in things to make sure that the air quality is good for our citizens. And we go through those proper channels, for instance, through the Shelby County Health Department that actually regulates that air, the EPA that regulates that air. There are avenues to address the concerns, and I'm willing to work with everyone on those avenues. I just want to make sure that we keep these things what they are. This today is not a vote on a business. It's not a vote on a project. It's a vote on a sale of property. Thank you.
Well said. Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Cooper Sutton, you're recognized.
I don't think that the constituents here have an issue with the parcel. Is you excluded them from the whole process and talking to them, educating them, and giving them the information they need. Anybody can go on Google and look at anything and find out anything. But when you bring in a business here, as far as myself, whether I was here sitting in this seat, I would be the same as I'm sitting out there. They have questions, and they have the right to have questions. They have the right to have them answered, not after the fact, but before the fact. They live in that community. They are the ones that have been affected for over decades and decades and decades and decades. And it may be a parcel. And we know who the parcel is going to belong to. And we're not disputing the gray water facility. The thing is the effect of it, the environmental effect of it, the EPA, the permits that goes with it. We just can't keep just jumping and ignoring the people that vote and put us up here and don't listen to them. I don't know it all, and I don't claim to know it all. But what I do know is this. If I have a question and you don't answer it, it poses a problem for me and the community that I serve. I was not clearly on it. And at that last meeting, the gentleman that was there, he was willing to pause for a minute and to get the questions answered that needed to be answered. But this body was so in an urgency to pass it on. He was willing to do that. So that showed me something about him. He was willing to take the time out, maybe go out and talk to the citizens, get a platform, and just answer their questions. Their questions. And how dare we even think that their questions and their livelihood isn't important? Yes, we need a gray water. Yes, we don't want them to use our wonderful water that everybody seems to want, the air quality and everything else that's going on. But at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. They have questions, and they are due those questions to have them answered by us fairly and equally. You wouldn't want anything to come in your neighborhood and just show up and nobody answers. Yeah, we want the revenue. We want the tax money. Yeah, it was a piece of land that wasn't being used. We're grateful for that. But in the same token and in the same sentence, they deserve their questions answered. Who would say that they would not agree with it? But you ignore them because Memphis is so prone to doing business their way and thinking that the people don't have a voice. We promised them that we would listen to them and we would represent them and we would hear them out and make it much easier for them to understand.
Hell, I don't know it all, but you're not gonna run over me and just gonna give me something and say, this is how it is, and I need 7 votes, and it's gonna pass whether you, well, this is a new day. It's a new day. And I apologize to you all for being neglected, for not having your questions answered in a timely and a fashion manner, because this body that you all elected, we owe that to you. I'm for the gray water facility, but you're gonna answer my questions in the same token. I yield the floor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Madam Comptroller, please prepare the voting screen for 15. Members, please cast your votes.
I don't know why not. I hear them. I see everybody's votes.
He said he would.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, no. Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan abstained. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us to our consent agenda, which would be items 4 through 13. 4 through 13.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item number 4 is a joint ordinance of the City of Memphis and County of Shelby, Tennessee, enacted pursuant to the Community Redevelopment Act of 1998 and the Uniformity in Tax Increment Financing Act of 2012, providing for the establishment of the Cleveland Street Corridor Redevelopment Trust Fund. Up for first reading, ordinance number 5935 is sponsored by Councilwoman Easter Thomas. Item number 5 is an ordinance to amend Title 9, Chapter 16, Health and Sanitation of the City of Memphis Code of Ordinances, relative to the assessment of fees to property owners with an abandoned or vacant property within the City of Memphis limits. Up for first reading, ordinance number 5936 is sponsored by Councilwoman Green. Item number 6 is an ordinance to amend Title 5, Chapter 5-20 of the Memphis Municipal Code to increase the existing hotel-motel occupancy tax to 4%. Up for first reading, ordinance number 5937 is sponsored by the administration. Item number 7 is up for second reading. The ordinance number is 5933, and the ordinance is sponsored by Councilman Smiley. Item number 12 is a resolution approving engineering plans for TCAT Memphis and accepting bond as security. There is a request for same-night minutes. The contract number is CR-5473. Item number 13 is a resolution approving engineering plans for C-Store New Fraser Boulevard and New Allen Road and accepting bond as security. There is a request for same-night minutes. The contract number is 5474. Mr. Chairman, that concludes your consent agenda items.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met. There was a favorable recommendation.
and I so move by voice acclamation.
Show that move. Please show that move by JSW. Seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen for the consent agenda. Members, please cast your votes for the consent agenda.
Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us to item 28.
Item number 28 is a joint resolution finding of conditions necessary for community redevelopment in the Cleveland Street corridor area and adoption of the community redevelopment plan for the Cleveland Street corridor area. Districts 5, 6, and 7, Super District 8. This resolution is sponsored by Councilwoman Easter Thomas.
Councilwoman Green, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met and recommended approval.
Can you move it in your...
Oh, sorry. First day back, Chair. I did.
Item 28 was moved by Green, seconded by Easter Thomas. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen. Members, please cast your votes for item 28.
Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. White, recused. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes.
Don't worry about it.
Councilwoman White, you're recognized.
Here, I did an actual recusal on my ballot sheet, but I needed to also make a verbal one that I represent the county and have an interest in that matter, and therefore I recuse myself.
Received.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Madam Comptroller, would you please take us to the MLGW fiscal consent items 19 through 25, please?
Item number 19 is a resolution approving change number 4 to contract number 12262, formerly C2203, HP-UX support with Aptech Technologies, Inc., to ratify and extend the current contract in the funded amount of $151,416. Item number 20 is a resolution awarding 60-month purchase order for 3-phase pad-mounted distribution transformers to S&G Solutions, LLC, in the amount of $15,058,859.18. Item number 21 is a resolution awarding 60-month purchase order for single-phase pole-type distribution transformers to Cooper Power Systems in the amount of $4,542,818.72. Item number 22 is a resolution awarding purchase order for meter 12-inch ultrasonic run assemblies to Industrial Sales Company of Memphis, Inc., in the amount of $352,666.66. Item number 23 is a resolution awarding purchase order for slam shut 8-inch Fisher regulators to Brighter Days and Night, Inc., in the amount of $238,590. Item number 24 is a resolution approving an annual salary in the amount of $160,000 for a new hire to fill the vacant position of Attorney 4. There is a request for same night minutes. And the final item is number 25, a resolution awarding purchase order for electric smart meters to engineered ceiling components in the amount of $2,792,380.75.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Councilman Spinoza, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman Canale. Committee met, recommends approval, and I so move.
MLGW fiscal consent was moved by Spinoza, seconded by Easter Thomas. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen. Members, please cast your votes for MLGW.
Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us to item 30 on our add-on agenda.
Item number 30 is a resolution appropriating FY25 allocations in the amount of $500,000 in CIP project number GS22202, City Hall Improvements, District 7, Super District 8. This resolution is sponsored by the administration, and there is a request for same night minutes.
Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met. There was a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
Item 30 is moved by JSW, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen. Members, please cast your votes for item 30.
Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 31.
Item number 31 is a resolution consenting to the relocation of the icon sculpture in Overton Park, District 5, Super District 9. This resolution is sponsored by all council members, and there is a request for same night minutes.
Councilman Warren, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Committee met, recommended approval. I so move.
Item was moved by Warren, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen. Members, please cast your votes for item 31.
Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, would you please take us back to the fiscal consent agenda, items 16 through 18?
Item number 16 is a resolution to receive and appropriate a grant from Bloomberg Center for Public Innovation in the amount of $120,000. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by the Executive Division. There is a request for same night minutes. Item number 17 is a resolution to accept 40 emergency child restraints from the Memphis Fire Department Foundation for the emergency medical services with an estimated value of $27,300. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Fire Services. There is a request for same night minutes. And item number 18 is a resolution to accept fire public education material from the Memphis Shelby County Schools for the Fire Prevention and Publication Program with an estimated value of $5,000. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Fire Services. There is a request for same-night minutes. That concludes the fiscal consent agenda items, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met. There was a favorable recommendation to accept all of these grants on behalf of the city, and I so move.
Item was moved by JSW, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, please appear the voting screen. Members, please cast your votes for the fiscal consent agenda.
Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us to our regular agenda item number 26.
Item number 26 is a resolution to transfer allocated funds in the amount of $1,219,143 from completed IT CIP project IS01082 to IT projects IT01003, operational infrastructure enhancement, IT01004, implementation modernizations, and IT01005, Treasury Tax System FY23. All council districts, this resolution is sponsored by the administration.
Councilwoman Green, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met and recommended approval, and I so move.
Item was moved by Green, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen. Members, please cast your votes for item 26.
Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 27.
Item number 27 is a resolution to transfer $299,219 from the Capital Project Report MGR CIP Project LI01030 planning line to the construction line of the new Fraser Library and appropriate funds for use in that line for the Library Service Division. District 7, Super District 8. This resolution is sponsored by the administration.
Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met. There was a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
27 was moved by JSW, seconded by Spinoza. Please prepare the voting screen. Members, please cast your votes for item 27.
Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 29.
Item number 29 is a resolution of the Council of the City of Memphis, Tennessee, approving the transfer of a portion of certain grant funds awarded from the state of Tennessee in the aggregate amount of $80 million and authorizing the appropriation thereof to the Memphis and Shelby County Sports Authority, Inc. for the purposes of, among other things, funding all or a portion of the capital repairs, improvements, and replacements to the FedEx Forum Arena, included the proposed architectural, engineering, and design work associated therewith, authorizing the execution and delivery of one or more funding agreements in connection therewith, authorizing all legal and administrative actions and other necessary matters with respect to the foregoing, and setting forth an effective date. District 7, Super District 8. This resolution is sponsored by the administration.
Madam Vice Chair, you recognize.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met. There was a favorable recommendation. They were excited to accept these funds from Tennessee to Memphis, and I so move.
Item was moved by JSW, seconded by Warren. Seeing no members in the queue, please spare the voting screen. Members, please cast your votes for item 29.
How is it out there? Cool, but one idiot, otherwise cool.
Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us to our last regular agenda item, number 14.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item number 14 is a resolution requesting the approval for the sale in the amount of $280,000 of a city-owned parcel located at 0 Dexter Road, Memphis, Shelby County, Tennessee, 38016, and further described as parcel ID number D0209-00531, unincorporated Shelby County. This resolution is sponsored by the administration, and there is a request for same-night minutes.
Madam Vice Chair, you recognize.
Thank you. Chair, the committee met. There was a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
That item was moved by JSW, seconded by Spinoza. Hold on, members. Do not cast your votes yet. Attorney Wade, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is property known as 0 Dexter Road. It is part of the Gardens of Grays Creek PD. It was formerly to be used as a fire station, but that was abandoned. The city accepted offers for the property and received a proposed contract from Rockwood LLC, which is the matter that you approved last meeting and which the committee recommends approval tonight. The purchase price is $280. It did have a period of due diligence, but that period has been completed, I believe the 10th of March, and the purchaser is required to close the property 10 days after that period ended or after this body approves the contract. So if you approved it today, that closing will take place in 10 days. The city also received 2 other offers. One of them was for $500,000, but it was proposing that the property be used as a gas station. I believe that one is no longer relevant, but I'll discuss it in a second. And then there's a third one from a Norman Salim who offered $350, but he has a period of 90 days to do due diligence and 30 days thereafter to close. And to the extent that he finds the property unsuitable, he may elect not to go forward. Under the ordinance, if the property is valued at more than $20,000, you have to have 2 readings. We've approved the Rockwood bid on first reading, and this is the second reading. And at the second reading, these other bids may be considered by the council, provided that they are conforming. The ordinance requires that subsequent bidders must adhere to the terms and stipulations of the initial agreement and may not introduce new contingencies in their bid. In my opinion, The second and third bids introduce additional contingencies of due diligence and a longer period for them to close. Those are contingent bids. What you have now is a binding bid. You have a bird in the hand as opposed to something that may never materialize. In my opinion, the second two bids are not compliant, and you have the ability to go ahead and approve the sale that was submitted by Rockwood if you deem it appropriate. Thank you.
Colleagues, any questions for Attorney Wade?
By the way, those other two bidders are not here tonight.
Hold on, I couldn't hear you.
They're not here. Other bidders are not here.
Okay. All right. Seeing no members in the queue, no questions for Attorney Wade. All right, colleagues, please cast your votes for item number 14.
Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, out of an abundance of caution and housekeeping, make sure that we got all items in the record. I'm going to ask you to reread the consent agenda into the record to make sure that we included all items 4 through 13.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item number 4 is up for first reading. Ordinance number 5935 is sponsored by Councilwoman Easter Thomas. Item number 5 is up for first reading. Ordinance number 5936 is sponsored by Councilwoman Green. Item number 4 is the joint ordinance of the City of Memphis and County of Shelby, Tennessee, enacted pursuant to the Community Redevelopment Act of 1998 and the Uniformity in Tax Increment Financing Act of 2012, providing for the establishment of the Cleveland Street Corridor Redevelopment Trust Fund. Up for first reading, ordinance number 5935 is sponsored by Councilwoman Easter Thomas. Item number 5, ordinance to amend Title 9, Chapter 16, Health and Sanitation of the City of Memphis Code of Ordinances relative to the assessment of fees to property owners with an abandoned or vacant property or properties within the City of Memphis limits. Up for first reading, ordinance number 5936 is sponsored by Councilwoman Green. Item number 6, ordinance to amend Title 5, Chapter 5-20 of the Memphis Municipal Code to increase the existing hotel-motel occupancy tax to 4%. Up for first reading, ordinance number 5937 is sponsored by the administration. Item number 7 is up for second reading. Ordinance number 5933 is sponsored by Councilman Smiley. Item number 8 is up for second reading. Ordinance number 5934 is sponsored by Councilman Spinoza. Zoning ordinances up for first reading. Ordinance amending ordinance number 5367 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Memphis, Tennessee, adopted on August 10th, 2010 as amended, known as the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, to authorize a zoning use district reclassification for land located on 0 Mount Moriah extended north of Kirby Terrace Drive by taking the land out of the residential single family, residential urban, conservation agriculture, and residential single family use districts and including it in the commercial mixed use district. Up for first reading, this ordinance is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. The case number is Z24-09. The ordinance number is 5938. Item number 10 is an ordinance amending ordinance number 5367 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Memphis, Tennessee, adopted on August 10th, 2010, as amended, known as the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, to authorize a zoning use district reclassification for land located at 7073, 7093, 7105, and 7117 Stage Road by taking the land out of the conservation agriculture use district and including it in the commercial mixed-use district. Up for first reading, this ordinance is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. The case number is Z25-01. The ordinance number is 5939. Item number 11 is an ordinance amending ordinance number 5367 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Memphis, Tennessee, adopted on August 10th, 2010, as amended, known as the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, to authorize the designation of a new historic overlay district to include 43 residential properties within the 2000 to 2100 block of Carr Avenue between Diana Street and Cooper Street. Up for first reading, this ordinance is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. The case number is HDD 24-01. The ordinance number is 5940. And then we have our two engineering items. Item number 12, the resolution approving engineering plans for TCAT Memphis and accepting bond as security. There's a request for same night minutes. The contract number is 5473. And the final item for the record is number 13, a resolution approving engineering plans for C-Store, New Fraser Boulevard, and New Allen Road, and accepting bond as security. There's a request for same night minutes. That contract number is 5474. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for allowing us to read this in the record.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Colleagues, out of an abundance of caution, we want to make sure that everything was read into the record, so this will be recasting your vote for the consent agenda. Please cast your votes.
Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, also out of an abundance of caution, I want to make sure that item 29, for the record, was voted on as amended with the documents that were sent over. So
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
29 passed as amended.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our records will reflect that.
That brings us to our same night minute items. I believe the Vice Chair has those ready for us.
Thank you, Chair. The same night minute items are numbers 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 24, 30, and 31. And I so move.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Same night minutes are moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Warren. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen for our same night minutes. Members, please cast your votes for same night minute items.
Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Colleagues, this brings us to our public comment portion of the meeting. First up, Glenda Hicks. Ms. Hicks, name and address for the record. You have 2 minutes.
Glenda Hicks, 608 Gillies, co-founder 21st Century Memphis or Bust. I just wanted to come this afternoon and give a personal thank you to Councilwoman Logan and Councilwoman Cooper Sutton. I'm appreciative of the questions that you all asked in today's committee meeting, the MLGW committee meeting. I know that it was said that more safeguards were supposedly put in place to ensure greater oversight. Having said that, those safeguards are useless unless proper research is done to ensure that the information that you all are receiving is indeed accurate. So there are definite degrees of information that are questionable. regarding the contract with engineered ceiling components. I think all of you all received letters, emails from various constituents regarding that particular contract. And there is grave concern when we continue to do business with someone who has been less than satisfactory in their dealings, which is the case with Honeywell. And I know that you all were told that there are no other options, but that is not true because the Badger meters, water meters, which are in service and have been in service, are not Honeywell meters. Those are Badger meters. Yet in steel, monies have been spent to replace damaged parts, which is on Honeywell. So there's a cross there, definitely. So I'm asking you all to do your due diligence and properly research what is going on, because something is not right. And a 12-month warranty,
Thank you, Ms. Hicks.
is not.
Thank you, Ms. Hicks. Appreciate your comments. Commissioner Brittany Thornton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, colleagues. It's cool to be standing here on the other side of the street. I am coming wearing my constituent hat. I haven't been able to make calls.
Commissioner, I'm sorry. We give us your name.
160 North Main.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, I should know protocol.
That's all right. Thank you.
I know that I can pick up the phone to call many of you, but I wanted to just elevate an issue that I'm experiencing in Orange Mound with the Orange Mound Library. It closes at 6 p.m., so I'm looking at my direct representatives and to Councilman Smiley and Councilwoman Yolanda Cooper-Sutton. This is a shared ask of you guys to advocate. Our one campus facility, the senior citizen facility and the community center closes at 8 p.m., and our library closes at 6 p.m. And I just wanted to just elevate to you guys that as a professional in Orange Mound, it is very, very difficult to access resources in our community. And I just feel like this is an oversight. Right now, I'm in the middle of executing on a 6-week virtual cohort, and I, for Class 1, headquartered at the library and was pretty rudely kicked out of the library at 6 o'clock, which just emphasized for me that if we're traveling after work to access enrichment as professionals, we should be able to have physical spaces that are high quality. It's undeniable that the library is an excellent addition to the community, but it's kind of counterproductive for it not to be accessible from that 6 to 8 p.m. time frame. So if there's anything you can do, Chief Adams, to be able to make sure that this gets factored into the budget, I'm sure that there's a fiscal note associated with this, and I would greatly appreciate it. I'm hoping that we can just figure this out before we have to go to the organizing route, but I know that there are a number of other professionals who are equally as passionate about this particular point. So if you could help us get an 8 o'clock closing for the Orange Mound Library, that's my specific ask. And to the rest of the body, if you can support us in Orange Mound, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thanks for joining us today. Gilbert Barnes Carter III. You are recognized, sir. Name and address. You have 2 minutes.
Gilbert Barnes Carter III, 37 West Waldorf Avenue, 38109. Good afternoon, and I first want to take a moment to thank all of you all for recognizing the life and legacy of Pastor Ricky D. Floyd. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge you all for your heartfelt acknowledgement of his life. So I'm here today to also offer my support as a resident first and foremost, but of course as an organizer on a number of fronts, and specifically with regard to XAI, it's imperative that now that we are past the point of the land being sold in Whitehaven, to place safeguards for better protections. I know Councilwoman White, Councilwoman Cooper-Sutton, Councilwoman Walker eloquently pointed out the fact that there are little to no safeguards, and one safeguard that's not in place on the legislative side is the fact that groups and individuals right now do not have to appear before this body in to my knowledge, and of course, Commissioner Thornton and other county commissioners can correct me if I'm wrong, but also the county commission, if their land use review plans are approved here by members of the Land Use Control Board. So when you have technocrats like Elon Musk and any other technocrats who are opportunistic out there looking for areas to expand, and they realize that there's little to no resistance or little to no political will, that's going to make it easier for them to expand in a very unscrupulous way. So what I'm proposing, and I sent an email message out to you all. I know Councilwoman Green, I received a automated message, thank you. And I'm waiting to hear back from the rest of you, but I want to work with those of you who are interested to find out what I need to do as an organizer to have that legislation amended to where groups and individuals still have to appear before this body and the county commission to have more public input, because we all know that not.
Thank you for being with us today. Colleagues, that's the end of our public comments. I want to say thank you to the staff. Thank you for your time, service, and attention today. I want to thank you to my colleagues for your service. We have an important job to do, and I appreciate all of your hard work. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Second. Moved and seconded. We are adjourned. God bless you.